Hey everyone, it's the Tides Changing here, and welcome to episode 6 of my Let's Build series. So today we'll begin landscaping the side of the house. So the first thing that I wanted to do was make a porch leading up to the entrance to the second floor apartments. So to do that, I just have to drag the foundation out a little bit, as you can see here. And I have to use the constrained floor elevation sheet to fix the wall over there. If my voice sounds strange at any point during this video, that's because my throat is bothering me a little bit. Hopefully I'm not getting sick, but I might be. But anyway, as you can see there, I just made a 2x3 porch type area, and now I'm just fixing it so all the floors are leveled correctly, because using the constrained floor elevation sheet sometimes screws stuff up. But anyway, I have the porch done on that side. And the next step is, of course, to put the stairs so your Sims can get up to that porch, which is what I'm doing here. And of course, I just used the same stairs that I used over on the other porch. And now I'm just putting that same fencing that I love in there. And I decided that that in the front it could look better, like that maybe there should be some columns going across the front of it. So that's kind of what I'm playing around with here. And I ended up making it so there was, kind of like columns above where they are in the lower level. And I think that looks a lot better, and it makes things a little more interesting there in the front of the house. And now I am just trying to figure out the door to use to go in there. And I was really indecisive when trying to pick this out. Like, I tried out so many doors and different colors, as you'll see. I didn't like that door because it reminds me of something like you have going into the garage or something like that, but more than a front door. But I guess that's because I always use that to go into garages. And here I'm trying out this door, but I didn't quite like it because I felt like it was too colorful and it just didn't look right in there. So yeah, and then I went back to that door because I thought maybe for some reason it would look better the second time I tried it, but it didn't look any better. And now I'm just, checking out and deciding whether or not I want to keep it. And looking through doors to figure out if there's anything else that'll work there. And I put that door from Island Paradise in there, but I felt like it looked like something that would go on the inside of the house, not as an entrance into it. And then I went back with that door, tried a different color of it, like a different glass. And still didn't look right. I still felt like it was too colorful. So then I went with this similar door from Supernatural, and I tried that one. And I like this because it's interesting, but it's not quite as colorful. Like, it looks a lot better on the side there. And yeah, now I was just making it match the windows. And of course I had to try another recolor of it just to see if by chance that looked better. And once again, I felt like it was too colorful, so I stuck with that door. And now I'm adding in the porch on the other side. Except here I realized that I couldn't do it the same way because it only sticks out 2 tiles instead of 3. So I realized that I had to figure out something else for the porch, unless I wanted to be unsymmetrical, but I like things to be symmetrical. Yeah, because as you can see there, having the porch like that pulls the wall next to the door down, so it kind of covers up the garage door, and that doesn't work. Yeah, so I was trying that out, and that looked weird, because what I was thinking was I could have a column right next to the garage and then stairs there, but I feel like it looks better with the 3 stairs. So now I'm just trying to figure out something I can do for both sides that still looks fine. And I think what I ended up doing was, instead of making the porch 2x3, I made it just 1x3, since that's something that could work with both sides. And fortunately, the door that I used allows you to have the stairs 1 tile away from it, because not every door allows that. But fortunately, this one does. And yeah, I tried that at first too, but because I wanted to have the fence go all the way, 2 tiles, so it went all the way under the roof. So yeah, as you can see there, I have the 1x3 porch. And now I'm just trying to figure out what I can do so I can have that fencing go another tile forward. So what I decided to do is I decided to put a wall there and make that the same height as the foundation, and then just put the fencing over it. So that way, things would still work, and I could have the fencing go all the way under the roof, because I felt like it would be weird to have the roof just hanging one tile beyond the fencing, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's what I ended up with, and I think it looks pretty good. So the next thing I did was put some plants down to make things look better, well, after smoothing the ground out. I'll be putting the flower garden in that area that's a little higher up right there, so I thought it would look good to have the garden slit a little bit higher up. So yeah, now I am just putting down the rocks to line it. I think I said it before, but I really like lining the gardens with the rocks. I just think it looks nice, and by using the Move Objects cheat and holding down the Alt tab, you can, put the rocks pretty much wherever you want. So you can just make a really nice fence all the way around it. And now I'm just filling in the dirt there and putting in the same plants. And I think I kind of said something this before, but I personally think that when you're doing the garden, it's good to choose, like certain plants and just use those plants, like instead of putting too many different plants in. I may have said something like that already, but oh well. And now I am doing the driveway, so there's a driveway for your Sims to drive up to the garage, even though they don't actually drive their car up to the garage anymore. I feel like that kind of makes no sense that you put the car in the garage and then when they go to leave, they just go to the street and the car appears there. It was definitely more realistic in The Sims 2 how you had to actually make the driveway and then, they would drive their car down the driveway, get to the street. But I guess the downside of that was that it did make it trickier when it came to building because you had to allow to place the driveway item. And from what I remember, I think it could only be put on flat land or something like that, but that's also what the Move Objects cheat was for. But anyway, now I am putting the finishing touches on the driveway and just, taking away the extra bits on the side. And now I'm rounding out the corners so it looks a little better. So I actually had to cut a good bit out because when I was trying to figure out what terrain paint to use to go from that door there on the side to the front, I tried so many different things, and I would use one paint and then try another paint, then go back to the one I had originally, then not like it, and go, and then try another one not like that, go back to the one originally, and it was about, I guess, like 10 minutes worth with it, sped up 3 times, so about like 30 minutes of real time I spent doing this, so I just cut it out because I figured no one wanted to watch me go through, spend about an episode worth of time going through different terrain paints. But that's actually the terrain paint I originally used, that stone one. But originally I had just it, and I liked it, but I felt like it was too bright, and looked like the grass obviously wasn't the same grass, and I didn't like that. But I figured that a way to get around that was to put the dark grass paint from Starlight Shores under it, so it had the same kind of grass, and then have the brush on, as soft as it can go, and then put the stone over it. So that way you could still see some of the grass below it through, and then go over it again with the grass, as soft as it can go. And I like that because you still have the stone pattern, but it looks darker and it blends in a lot better. And now I'm just blending over it with the light grass paint from Starlight Shores. And I think it actually turned out pretty nice. Like, I was finally happy with it. I tried so many different things before I got to that point. And like I said, I didn't want to make a whole episode of me playing around with terrain paints. Yeah, and now I'm just adding in some plants on the side there to make things look a little more interesting. And now I'm just adding some detail there, like putting some dirt under the plants. And since it's a little higher up, I'm putting some rock terrain paint around it. And then blending it in with the grass terrain paint. And I think that looks pretty nice. And just adding in a banana leaf plant there. And I wanted to put that tree, I wanted to put that tree in there, in the front, because I thought it'd look nice to have a tree other than a palm tree there. But I wanted to put it on a little hill like I did those other plants, so that's what I'm doing here. And there, put the tree on top of that, and put the bush next to it. And now I'm just doing the same thing with the tray paints that I did on the other side, just to make it look, you know, a little more interesting and blended in. And next I wanted to add in a fence there in front of that tree. So what I did was I grabbed the same half wall and I didn't put it all the way around because I wanted to have a different fence in that area there. So I put on that picket fence and I actually made it green because I felt like it would look better to have it be green than just plain white, as you can see there. And I think that looks pretty good. It goes with the whole earthy look and, you know, blends in with everything else. And so now I'm just looking around at it. And the last thing that I want to do is I wanted to put some plants in there, like in those corners. So I'm just lining that with the rocks and adding in the dirt. And of course putting in, you know, the same kind of plants that I've been using. And yeah, I think that's about all I did in this video. I don't feel like I did a whole lot. But next time I'll finish up this side and do the other side, which will go a lot quicker since I already know what to do. I hope you guys like this video. I'm sorry about my voice. Well, thanks for watching and bye.